He's black. He's brutal. He's boss.
What up, people? It's your boy C4 coming back at you with another video. It's time for me to give y'all my impressions on Sony. I'm not going to do this one like I did the Microsoft one because it took a long time to go down everything that was there in order. But I'm just going to give you my impressions on what I liked and what I didn't like. And then at the end, I'm going to tell y'all who I think won E3 between Sony and Microsoft. I like the fact that they, like Microsoft, is going to continue to support this generation of gaming. Sony is good with that. They did that with the PlayStation 2, and I really like that about them. So they showed some PlayStation 3 games, and they're going to continue to support that. They announced a couple of PlayStation Vita games, which I think is awesome because this system is in need of some games. The last good game we got for it was Soul Sacrifice. Now they announced the biggest one to me, the one I liked the most, was The Walking Dead is now coming to the Vita, which I think is awesome. I like the infamous Second Son. That game looks fucking epic. I enjoyed watching that. I actually believe that was in-game graphics. The gameplay which they threw in between the cutscenes looked amazing. That is most definitely a game to get if you plan on getting a PlayStation 4. I also liked the trailer for The Order. That looked very good. I can't wait to see some more of that. That was actually a trailer, so I can't say too much about that, but I'm guessing it's a game about vampires or something like that. They also announced that they will be having cross-game chat. That is something that the PlayStation console needed for a very long time, and I'm happy about that. And they announced that they will not be blocking used games on the console, which in my opinion was the biggest piece of news we got from their conference at all. They said that they won't be blocking used games. However, they came out with a statement and said that it will be up to the developers to implement things that they want to implement, such as an online pass, and if they want to lock out content, it's up to the developers. Now this brings a whole bunch of questions to my mind, because now I'm thinking, exactly how will developers, take a hold of this? Because if a developer decides to fully utilize the policies that Microsoft is implementing, do you honestly think they're going to release a game on the PlayStation 4 and it's completely, DRM free? So I don't know how exactly that's going to work. It's like, if their version on the Xbox One is blocking used games, then on that PlayStation 4, is it just totally going to be disregarded, or are they going to decide to come out with a code? Because they said they can come out with codes to block stuff. But at the conference, they made it like it was totally free. Nothing is blocked, everything like that. So they left a lot of questions in my mind, and I know a lot of people have already made up their minds on that, but they left a couple questions in my mind, because in a sense they told me developers can totally block the game. They could block 90% of the game if they choose to. So I don't know. We shall see when it comes to that. They also showed the console. The console, in my opinion, looks pretty decent. I found it funny because a lot of people were dissing the Xbox, and it looks like Sony took a cue from the Xbox. I know they made their console a while back, so I'm not saying they copied it, but I'm saying it looks a lot like it, with one shiny end, one matte end, and it kind of got that blocky look to it. It's funny to me because it looks like these companies are trying to, set in the 90s and the 80s, and they're trying to come up with something that they think will look futuristic. Like back in the old Twilight Zone days, they show you some shit that they think look futuristic, but it looks kind of corny. That's how both of these consoles look. But the console doesn't look bad. At the end of the day, like I said about the Xbox One, it's just some means to play your games. So it didn't look bad. It really didn't. I like the way it looked. Kind of got a leaning look to it. Now on to the things I didn't like. And I know what y'all saying, man, that list was pretty goddamn short of things you liked. Honestly, it was, because in my opinion, this was one of the worst conferences I have ever seen from Sony. It really was. They spent so much time talking about things we already seen, talking about things we already knew about, that I got bored. In the beginning, they talked about The Last of Us, which I found to be quite odd when you consider that The Last of Us is coming out at the end of the week. So you wasted time on the game most gamers already know about. The mass majority already is hyped and looking forward to and getting at the end of the week, and you wasted time talking about that at E3. They also talked about Batman Origins, which is multiplat, GTA 5 bundle, which is multiplat. Yeah, they got a console bundle and you get a free headset, but it's still a multiplat. And then they, like I said, they spent more time talking about multiplats than they did their actual games. They'll show you a trailer of a PlayStation 4 game, which they only showed, I believe, like about 4. And they wasted about 40 minutes showing multiplats gameplay. They wasted, it was like an hour and a half before we actually got to see the console. They wasted time talking about movies and Crackle and Music Unlimited and Video Unlimited, Netflix, Redbox, Live Event Viewer, Flickster, Facebook. You know, it's like, they wasted so much time talking about all of that shit that, you know, most gamers said they didn't want to hear about, but they talked about that for like the first, hour? So, you know, I really didn't like that. And then, like I said, they spent like 30 minutes showing gameplay from games that aren't even exclusive to their console. For example, they showed a demo for Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which, oh my God, that was like one of the biggest fails in E3 history. I don't know if it was the console that failed or it was, an acting fail where the girl was actually acting like she was playing the console, but it was really a video and it automatically had to buffer, or if the console overheated or what, I don't know, but that wasn't a very good look. And a lot of people was talking about the Battlefield 4 fail, and it turns out that was actual PC footage. But if this was running on the PlayStation 4, then kind of got a problem here, considering the console is supposed to be coming out at the end of this year. That was a huge fail. I mean, it stuttered so much it came to an end. Then they showed gameplay for Watch Dogs, which we've seen a million times over. And don't get me wrong, the gameplay looked good, but we've seen that game all over the place. That's also a multiplat. And they showed gameplay for Destiny, which is also a multiplat. So like I said, they spent more time showing gameplay for games that aren't even exclusive to the console. And they showed a couple of exclusives like I said, Killzone, which we've seen, so that wasn't really a big deal. Drive Club, we've seen that. Knack, we've seen that. The Dark Sorcerer, it was cool, but it was a trailer. Then they showed, which a lot of people felt as though was the crowning jewel and what made Sony win E3. They showed Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3. I've never been a fan of either one of those, but then it turned out that those were also multiplex. So a lot of their conference they spent talking about things that's going to be on more systems like Diablo 3 and NBA 2K14, Elder Scrolls Online, which looked good. I love the Elder Scrolls Skyrim world. Mad Max, I'm not sure if that's going to be an exclusive or not, but that was simply a CGI trailer. It looked good though, it looked promising. But yeah, man, that's just my opinion on that. And they also said that PlayStation Plus will no longer be, not PlayStation Plus, but online gaming on the PlayStation 4 will no longer be free. You will now have to pay $5 a month, which at the end of the year ends up being $60, the exact same price that most PlayStation gamers have been complaining about with Xbox Live. But as always, I find it funny because now it's no problem. It's no problem to pay for online gaming. Another piece of good news is it is coming in at $399, which is a good price. However, I can't help but to think that they took the PlayStation Eye out to bring down the price after they saw Microsoft's conference. Not mad at them. a cheaper price is a cheaper price. So I'm not mad at that at all. Now, since this is the last video of impressions I will be making on E3, I'm just going to give my opinions on who I think had the better showing at E3. Who had the better showing, in my opinion, was Microsoft. And I know y'all calling me a fanboy right now, but I am not a fanboy. In my opinion, Microsoft won the E3 showing for the simple fact they did not show anything that had to do with movies, music, or any of that other stuff. They showed what we watch E3 for, what everybody at one point in time said they was there for, which was the games. They hit you with hit after hit after hit after hit. They opened the show with the third-party game, but it was the first time we are going to see a Metal Gear Solid game on the Xbox console in the past, like 8 years. I think the last one we saw was Metal Gear Solid 2 on the original Xbox. So in my opinion, even though that was a third-party game, it was a game changer for Microsoft. They also got an exclusive from EA. How many consoles get an exclusive from EA? That's a big thing in my opinion. They also showed a lot of exclusives. They showed a lot of gameplay. You know, it wasn't all third-party gameplay. It was some actual exclusive gameplay, and I like that a lot. They hit us with all the games. They shut a lot of the naysayers up when it came to the games about them showing only Kinect games. We did not see any Kinect games, which I personally, like I said, would have loved to see some of those in some Illumi room. But yeah, in my opinion, that's why Microsoft won the conference. Sony showed a lot of filler. They talked about a lot of stuff I personally didn't care about, like the Netflix, the Redbox Go, and all of that stuff. I like the fact that Microsoft got rid of that stuff at their unveiling, and I kind of wish now that Sony would have did the same thing, because in giving away a lot of their titles, we pretty much saw a lot of the same stuff this time around, and none of it was really surprising. The new exclusives that we did see weren't even really gameplay, so I can't really give them the thumbs up on that because it was trailers and CGI. So in my opinion, Sony pulled a Microsoft move this E3. This is something that Microsoft has been doing for a while now, showing a whole bunch of multiplats and talking about Hulu and Netflix and all that other bullshit. And it seems to me that Sony took that hand in this E3. Now, they did make a big announcement saying that they will be allowing used games on their console. That was a great thing to say, but they left me with some questions. I don't know about you, but they left me with some questions on what developers will be allowed to take away from games. Because if a developer can lock out 75 to 90% of a game, then essentially you will be having to pay for used games on their console, through that. So I don't know. We shall see with that. But they did come through, like I said, with saying that the console won't have to always be online, which I think is a great thing for those people who like to play single player and, don't have to worry about being online. So they had some good things as well, but it wasn't really from the gaming side. When it comes to E3, I'm used to seeing Sony show those exclusives. I'm used to seeing some gameplay. I'm used to seeing them, show me a little bit more when it comes to E3. And all I saw was multiplats, Yes, they did a good job unveiling Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy 15, but those aren't even exclusives. So, I was looking for those exclusives, and I was looking for some gameplay of exclusives from Sony, and I really didn't get it. So, like in my last video, I gave Microsoft an A. I gave them that for the simple fact that they came there and they did what they told us they was going to do, which was show us the games. I'm not basing it on DRM because that's irrelevant when it comes to E3. Now, does that mean I am accepting of what they are planning on doing? No, it doesn't. However, they did have a phenomenal show showing exclusives and, what they plan on doing for the future with this console. As for Sony, I'm going to have to give them a B, and it's a low B for the simple fact, like I said, gameplay wise, I saw a whole bunch of games that I already knew about going into this. I saw a whole bunch of games that, are going to be multi-plat. So for me, it just really wasn't one of Sony's greatest showings. They spent a lot of time talking about movies and all of that shit. And in the end, it just turned out to be pretty boring. Up until the point, like I said, they announced that you can play used games. It was pretty damn boring. But I know everybody got a different opinion than me, so go ahead on and tell me what you think about what I said below. Comment below, video response, whatever you do, it's up to you. As always, you already know who it is. It's your boy C4. Chat with me, and I'm out.